Welcome. This is David Bowles, Human Meme. Today's topic: design theory versus experienced living. It always amazes me what big companies worth billions and billions of dollars will not do in order to improve upon what already exists in a form they previously created. Let's take a more specific look at luxury real estate. Hundreds of millions of dollars were spent building a high-rise luxury building. This particular building sits in an urban city, on a high hill, in a low area, and so, above all other considerations, the wind is the ongoing nemesis of the multi-million-dollar building and its residents. And there's no joking around about this. The wind is a powerful force. It howls every day. The wind blows things over and under. The wind pushes you when you expect it to pull you. The wind slams doors, the wind shatters windows, and the wind creates garbage cyclones of historic Western world infamy. Now, the main thing, my human meme friend, about this particular kind of wind in this new building is the high wind velocity on the pool deck level located on the 8th floor of the building. On this said 8th floor, the wind whips you when you go outside, the wind takes off your shoes, and the wind steals your towels, and the wind blows you over, even while you're swimming in the pool. Oh yeah, the wind. Who knew? Who could guess? What architect could ever know about this? The wind is not just a powerful neighbor. It's a cruel enemy. The wind cools you down and blows you down and out. Try swimming in a pool sometime with a gale force wind pushing you into the pool filters. So now, let's say we are stretching forward in time 4 years, and this billion-dollar real estate company ponies up another $300 million or so to build a second, even bigger building by about a 1.5 multiple, right next to the original windy building. Oh yes, the designers, the landlord, the architects, they all doubled down on what they thought they knew, but not on what they did not know. And so both buildings, now still on the same hilltop together, a new sort of twin towers, now stand tall with each other, but even together with double twin powers, the buildings are still unable to stare down the wind, let alone tame it. And actually, the wind situation is now even worse. Both buildings now share the 8th floor pool deck, and a brand new, odd sort of wind tunnel has been created between the two buildings. So the westerly wind may now more easily funnel in and sweep people, pets, and plates up in the wind and sweep the floor with all of them. Oh yes, it's quite amazing. 4 years of windy living in one building is now multiplied to be even more windy and even colder and even weirder than it ever was with just the one building. Blame it on the wind. All wind errors have now been successfully amplified. The new building also added new sun umbrellas to the 8th floor pool deck, and none of those umbrellas have or ever will be opened, because then those umbrellas will take off, floating in the air, flying in the air, and immediately become implements of doom and parachutes of death as they are carried away from the 8th floor pool deck to terrorize the citizenry walking below at street level. And there are also new fire pits on the pool deck level. I don't know how anyone expects to enjoy any sort of fire or flame when you can't even open your eyes in the midst of the daily gale force tearing across the deck. Plus, there's also new furniture. Pool deck furniture, fancy stuff, chairs, tables, now all made of lightweight aluminum and plastic. And they never stay in one place because they are successfully blown across the deck, as if they have sails on their own. At least the original pool deck furniture of 4 years ago in the original building was fairly heavy and sturdy against the blowing wind. And outdoor gas grilling is also going to be a fascination not to watch, as the smoke from 4 grills located together will whip around outside the pool deck. If, that is, anyone is able to keep a gas grill on fire in what amounts to a daily tsunami of wind and pool water. And my human meme friend, you've never been swimming on a gale force wind pool deck unless you've been hit in the face with actual whitecaps from the wading pool. Oh, there's no still water here. Oh no, there's no enjoying swimming laps in a second Olympic-sized pool. Oh no. No. There's only survival afoot as you try to keep the pool water out of your ears, nose, and mouth, while just simply trying to float away to enjoy the end of the day. You just thrive in staying afloat and not being washed out to the barren sea of disabused pool toys. And yes, in looking at all of this is a simple design problem versus a human living experience, where an 18-mile-per-hour wind on the street is magnified to a near gale-force wind 8 floors above on that pool deck. And for 4 solid years, everyone who cared, the residents, knew about that vicious wind. But nobody above or below in management ever did anything about it. And then some architect somewhere decided to double down on building an even bigger building to make the wind even windier and worse than it ever was. Every tree and plant now trying to live on the pool deck is in a perpetual sideways position because of the vicious wind. And those lovely plants and trees have only been alive on the 8th floor for about 3 weeks. Oh yes, this is hubris versus practicality. Oh sure, this is design ego over functional enjoyment. Now, if the building owners and the pool deck designers and the architects had only visited the existing pool deck for 4 years in the original building, if they had shown up once or twice on a sunny day, put their feet in the pool, they would have known straight away and factually that they had a serious wind problem for the residents. And maybe they could have fixed the problem right away, straight away. Higher walls, some sort of natural protection built to save the people. Some sort of barrier to protect the residents, the good residents, from the wind, the bad wind. But, my human meme friend, the answer to all of that is a vicious no. Instead of experiencing their design, or even asking people who actually live there what they thought about the design of the pool deck in the building, those in management and design just decided to instead choose to live in an ignorant bliss where they are never wrong. And they just carried on, and they built a whole new building that just served to amplify all the pre-existing problems of the original building. It's all sort of a stunning idea of being numb in both thought and execution. And the people suffer, and the investors suffer, and the building managers suffer, and the owners suffer. But for no one to suffer, someone had to step forward all this time and say, mistakes were made, and then fix that problem, instead of just making it worse in every respect by doing nothing. And the lesson in all of this, I guess, for us is ask. Do not assume. Do not be so invested in looking successful to your face that you are actually a failure behind your own back. It's okay to be wrong and to then make a correction, instead of claiming you are always right and making everything worse for everyone in your self-righteous rightness. Just take a step back, ask for feedback, offer people incentives to be honest with you. Do not punish alternative ideas. Welcome the odd view. Be supportive of the constructive feedback that actually makes a difference in the construction of your twin dreams. Oh, and this. Oh, this. There's a third building on the way. From the Twin Towers to the Triplet Towers, and we all wonder if there will be a treble-down bet placed on nothing changing in the glory of the wind as Building 3 is eventually added to the mix. But those of us who know, we hope against the inevitable that Building 3 will be the fix that works against the wind. Somehow, we hope the Building 3 is going to become the clock that is right more than twice a day. We hope that somehow the Building 3 will lift us up and away, up and out from the pool deck fiasco located on the 8th floor. A fiasco of such amplitude and magnitude that it sweeps us all up and out and into the white water of our shared community, drowning. Thank you for listening. Be a human meme.